Okay, so let's talk about NFTs. We've all seen the crazy headlines, right? $1 million digital art, cartoon apes, the works. But what if all of that is just noise? What if it's a huge distraction from what's really going on? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real utility hiding behind all that hype. And trust me, it's so much more than just a picture. And this, right here, this is the big question. This is the hurdle that trips almost everyone up. Is an NFT just some ridiculously expensive JPEG that anyone can just right-click and save to their desktop? It's a totally fair question, and honestly, it's the place we have to start. But what if we're looking at it completely wrong? What if the NFT isn't the art itself? What if it's actually a key? A key that does more than just prove you own something. It's a key that unlocks a door to something else entirely. And that one little shift in how you see it, it changes everything. To really see this in action, let's follow the story of someone we'll call Anna. Now, when Anna first heard about NFTs, she saw exactly what most of us see. Cool, maybe, but still just digital pictures. Her journey, though, is a perfect example of how that perspective can get completely turned on its head. But before we dive into Anna's story, let's do a super quick refresh. A non-fungible token. All that means is it's a unique digital certificate that proves you own something. Non-fungible just means it's one of a kind. But honestly, the best way to think about it is right here on the screen. It's like a digital deed to a house. The deed isn't the house, right? But it's the absolute, undeniable proof that you own it. So back to Anna. She decides, you know what? I'm going to do it. She takes the plunge and buys her very first NFT. In her mind, she's just getting a really cool piece of digital art. But what happened next is what totally changed her understanding of what she was actually holding in her digital wallet. And here it is, the aha moment. So Anna buys this animation just because she thought it looked cool. But suddenly, owning that token automatically gave her access to a private online group. All of a sudden, she's chatting directly with the artist, she's getting sneak peeks at new work, and she's connecting with all these other fans. The NFT wasn't just a picture anymore. It was literally her key to a whole community. And this also shows one of the most powerful things about this for creators. Because these are all built on code, on smart contracts, artists can automatically build in their own royalties. So that 10% you see here, that means every single time their art gets sold to someone else, forever, they automatically get a cut. That's a game changer that's pretty much impossible in the traditional art world. Now, this idea of an NFT being a key, it isn't just for online communities. This is where things start to get really exciting because it's starting to unlock actual real-world experiences, and it's completely blurring the lines between our digital and physical lives. A perfect example? Concert tickets. You know, a traditional paper ticket gets you in the door, and then what? You probably throw it away. But an NFT ticket? Whoa, that's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, it gets you in, but it's also a permanent collectible that can unlock exclusive merchandise or maybe get you early access to tickets for the next tour. The ticket itself becomes this living asset that keeps having value long after the show is over. We're seeing this revolution in gaming, too. Think about it. For decades, when you spent your money on an in-game item, like a rare sword or something, you never really owned it. The game developer did. With NFTs, you have true ownership. You can sell that sword on an open market for real money, maybe even take it with you into a different game one day. It gives real economic power back to the players. And the connection can get even more direct than that. We're now seeing NFTs that are fundamentally directly linked to actual physical items. This is where that whole digital key idea becomes incredibly literal. So check this out. Owning the digital token can literally give you the rights to a physical object. Imagine buying an NFT that guarantees you get a pair of limited edition sneakers, and it serves as perfect proof that they're authentic. Or maybe an NFT that acts as the unforgeable certificate for a luxury watch. Your digital wallet basically becomes a vault for your real-world stuff. And as powerful as all of these examples are, we have to remember, we are still in these super, super early days of this technology. The things we're seeing right now, they're just the first building blocks for a future that's going to be way more integrated. Now, get ready for this idea. What if your NFT collection becomes a new kind of resume? An NFT could be a verifiable credential, proving you finished a course or that you have a specific skill. It's a way to build your reputation and carry your accomplishments with you in a portable way that everyone can recognize and trust. And the toolkit for what these things can do is just getting bigger and bigger. First, you've got governance. Holding a community's NFT can give you a real voice, an actual vote in its decisions. Then there's DeFi, or decentralized finance, which is just a financial system without the traditional banks where your NFT can act as collateral for a loan. And finally, fractional ownership, which is just a fancy way of saying a bunch of people can team up and co-own something super valuable that none of them could afford on their own. So, after seeing all these possibilities, from community access to digital identity to real-world goods, that core idea comes right back into focus. It was never really about the picture. It has always been about the power of the key. All right, let's wrap it up with the most important takeaways. NFTs are so much more than art. They are keys that connect our digital and physical worlds. They give creators powerful new ways to earn a living, and they let communities organize themselves in brand new ways. And the most exciting part of all, we are just getting started. Ultimately, this technology is rewriting the very rules of what it means to own something. It's turning us from just passive consumers into active participants. So the real question isn't what NFTs are today, but what they're going to become. What doors are going to open next, and which ones are you going to choose to walk through?